Hello Allan, where are you?
I'm here at Passion Cafe in San Francisco.
What's your background?
I'm an entrepreneur. My current company, Curebit, we do referral systems for online companies. And before that, I started a company called Webmasters International that did web development. And I started that in college and grew it to about 50 employees, and mostly in Ukraine, but about 10 people in US and 40 in Ukraine. And then before that, I studied computer science in college.
Okay, nice. Can you tell us about Curebit, how you created it, and what is it exactly?
Sure. Curebit basically is a platform for referrals. So we think that referral systems is kind of the new way in which companies can acquire customers very quickly. And a lot of the most successful, fastest growing companies today, they grow so fast because of referrals, because they make their customers happy, and happy customers refer their friends. So our company, Curebit, basically powers referral systems for any kind of online company. One example is an online store. So for online stores, we can power a referral system that will sit on the thank you page, and right after somebody buys, we'll present an offer that says, for the next 3 days, your friends can get 10% off. And if one of your friends buys, then you'll also get 10% back on your order as if you had the same deal. And so we make it really easy for people to click share, and share on Facebook, share on Twitter, share by email, and then get their friends to come in and buy. And both of them benefit. And it's very authentic to do it right after you buy, because you can say, hey, I just bought this and I bought it full price, and now you can buy the same thing for 10% less than I paid for it.
Okay, nice. And how did you create it? Because I think your story is really nice.
Yeah, so my co-founders and I, we met a little over a year ago. And we first met...
Where did you meet?
Yeah, we met at an event called Founder Dating. So it was an event for co-founders, potential co-founders, to meet each other. And there was a screening process to make sure there was only people that were ready to do a company full-time. And so it's basically just a meeting in a bar and a lot of people talking to each other about what they were interested in. And I met my two co-founders, Jeff Yi and Nori Yoshida, there. And after that, we all met a lot of people, but after that we just decided to get together and try working together one day. And so we met up in a coffee shop in Palo Alto, and we started working at noon, and we came up with an idea in half an hour. We knew we were going to throw it away, we just wanted to try something. And all three of us were programmers, so we started working on it. And basically we finished that whole idea that day, so by like 2 a.m. we finished it and we launched it. And so we said, okay, cool, we can work together really well technically, because we were able to launch this in just 14 hours.
Okay, nice. Can you tell us about the business model of Curebit?
Sure, yeah. So the business model is we charge a commission on the new sales when people buy, and we also charge that's for customers that are doing over 2,000 sales per month. But for smaller customers, we allow them to also use Curebit and just pay a monthly subscription model.
Okay.
And then the commission, we only charge that on the new sales that are generated directly as a result of our referral system.
Okay. What are the next developments for Curebit?
So we want to go beyond doing just referral systems for e-commerce companies to provide referral systems for all types of businesses. So the direction that we're going in is kind of referrals for all businesses.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Can you tell us about your competitors and to what extent you are better than them?
Sure, yeah. There's a few companies doing what we're doing. One of the older, bigger ones is a company called Extol. They've been around for a while, and their model, it's not commission-based, it's just a flat fee, and so they don't have as much incentive to make the campaigns really work well. So we think that we're more focused on conversions. They also do a wider variety of different things, whereas we're really just focused on the referral system right now. But the other way in which we're different is we have self-serve, so people can sign up and smaller retailers can get started with us, whereas they really only target the very big customers, big companies.
Have you fundraised money yet?
We've raised a little bit of money, so we're funded by Y Combinator and 500 Startups, Dave McClure.
Both of them?
Yes. Yep, and we're also funded by Start Fund, which is Ron Conway and Yuri Milner. They made the offer to all the Y Combinator companies, and then we have some angel investors as well.
Okay, do you plan to fundraise soon?
Yeah, we're raising a little bit of money right now. So we're still raising our seed funding, probably be done in the next 2 weeks.
Okay. Can you tell us about the experience of Y Combinator? How does it work? Tell us about the office hours and.
Sure. Yeah. Well, let me tell you kind of how we got into Y Combinator. So after my co-founders met, that was at the last year in April. All summer we kept getting together and coming up with different ideas, but we still didn't start really working together full time. And we kept trying to come up with what's the right idea that we wanted to work on for the next 5 years of our life. Because all of us had started companies before. I had my company, the outsourcing company. My co-founder Nori, he had 2 exits before. So he sold the company to Salesforce, and then before that he sold the company to Microsoft. And then my other co-founder, he started a successful company as well called Browsera, which was a cross-browser testing platform. So we all really wanted to find the right idea to do this with. And we thought maybe Y Combinator would be good, but that would be further down the road once we figured out what we were doing. And so all summer we discussed ideas, and finally in August we said we really have to start doing this full time to come up with something that we're going to be happy with. So we rented a house in Berkeley for 3 months, and we moved in there away from our wives so that we could just work 24/7 without any distractions, days, nights, weekends, every day, and just come up with ideas and launch them very quickly. Build them, prototype them, get them out to get customers to use it, and then get feedback from clients. And so every few days we would kind of launch different new products. We would keep working on the existing products that we had launched, and it was 2 months into it that we came up with a current idea. And so we started applying for Y Combinator before we even came up with a current idea. And so our first application said, well, we're living together, we're coming up with ideas, here are the ideas that we're thinking about, but we're not sure what actually we're doing. And then we came up with a current idea, and then we resubmitted the application that says, okay, we came up with the idea, we're going to do referral systems for online stores, and we're about to start programming. And then a few days later, we built the first version in 3 days. So 3 days later, we submit, okay, we finished our prototype, now we're finding our first customer and we're going to deploy it. And then a few days later, we submit, okay, it's live, we have our first customer, and it's now live on their site. And that was actually the final application, that was the last day before the deadline. So we got invited for the interview, and by that time, it was a month or 2 later, I think a month or so. And by that point, we were doing much more, many more sales, we had more clients, and so every minute somebody was checking out somewhere, and we were showing them one of our offers. So we came into the interview, we said like, oh, we're doing an offer per minute, and it was just, you could see that there was a lot of momentum and growth that happened since then. And getting into Y Combinator is very difficult, and the most important thing is actually focusing on the right things, which is traction. That's what we're focusing on, is actually creating new sales, getting our system to work. And I think that's probably why we're invited to do Y Combinator, is because we're focusing on that.
Okay. And after Y Combinator, what do you do? What are they doing for you?
So with Y Combinator, during when you're doing it, you go in and there's a weekly dinner, and at the dinner there's a prominent person that comes in and talks about their experience, and they share very intimate things about kind of what they were doing, and it's things that maybe they wouldn't share in public, so you really get an understanding of the early days at a startup. And then right before it's over, you start focusing on your presentation. Just a week before demo day, which is kind of the end of Y Combinator, you start focusing on your presentation, and then you have demo day, where it's actually a few days, it's not 1 day, but you present before hundreds of the top investors in the world that fly in from all over the world to watch the presentations. And it's very quick. In our case, it was 2-minute presentations, so you're up there and it's done, just bam, bam, bam. And after that, you meet with those investors, and you try to close funding. Some people don't start fundraising right away. We actually didn't fundraise right after demo day. We took some money from some investors that were ready to offer it right away, but we didn't go and actually start fundraising. But most people will start fundraising afterwards. And you can continue to have meetings with Y Combinator and request office hours and meet with them and get feedback on your traction and get advice. And it's really helpful. They're the smartest advisors in the world, because they've seen so many companies go through. The pattern recognition is amazing. And Paul Graham is just one of the smartest individuals I know of in the whole world. And to think of kind of a super mind having a mass amount of startup data thrown at it and parsing it so quickly, I mean, you just understand why his advice is so on point. It can be a little bit hard sometimes, because you come in there thinking that you know what you're doing, but very quickly you can see, oh, we're actually focusing on the wrong thing. But it's really, really helpful, because it gets you focused on the right things.